Oman is stretched across the Indian Ocean with ports and colonies. They secured world trade, but now a new imperial unexpected coup has occurred. Saudi Arabia attacks with 500,000 troops, quickly marching to the coast. But the big upset is about to happen as they rapidly march in towards the coast. As they get to it on this front, completely destruction. And in this direction they get to it, as they are about to destroy Oman. But with 300,000 troops, they blitz the Saudis out. By pushing them to their building blockade, quickly they destroy those forces. Thus, they launch a big offensive like this and start to move towards the coast, blocking it and blitzing across it. With them moving so fast, they create problems within the high command of Saudi Arabia. But Oman raises 600 troops up, pushing the major Saudi Arabian cities like Jeddah, Mecca, Medina, Riyadh. As they launch their invasion with 600,000 troops, with them launching a big force to the capital, whilst launching a smaller one into the useless desert as a distraction. But while they were doing this, they started another campaign towards the other coast, with Saudi Arabia managing to hold on to the front by Riyadh, but the failure of it leads to a city falling and then moving up to take more cities like Mecca, Medina, and Jeddah and other cities. As they secure all of this, while the Sauds were struggling to hold this, they finally end up breaking through in Riyadh, with the Saudi Arabians still fighting at this point, trying to hold back. But they made one huge mistake pushing there. Why would they do that? And then a big slam like this happens, leading to Saudi Arabia looking like this. The city also falls. And the rest of the Red Sea coast falls. And while also the rest of the Persian Gulf falls. And while they secure the trade routes in the Persian Gulf and Red Sea through this. And if you like this extreme escalation, please subscribe and click the notification bell for... Oh, they're already expanding again, everyone. They're starting to expand into all the Gulf states, including Yemen. Yeah, Yemen and the Gulf states. And while they quickly shatter this world balance, as they become the new dominant power in the Middle East, controlling swaths of land. They even control half of the Bab el-Mandeb Strait and half of the Persian Gulf. So let's see the peace treaty across the Middle East, securing trade routes, oil, resources, everything. But now for an expedition to make their first colony. Omani, East Africa. Yes. Let's see, can they do better than the Italians? Well, yes. The Italians did horrible in this nation. What? Like, literally. They had that bad logistics. They lost to a nation that barely had gunpowder. Now that's pathetic. Italy, that's pathetic. You were trying to revive Rome, but you only embarrassed yourself. As they land in Djibouti and quickly move into Djibouti's capital, thus quickly using this opportunity to push into Addis Ababa. Just taking it for a bit of a tour. Then they go into the capital of Ethiopia, not Eritrea, that's Asmara, I think. As they move in from the north, quickly securing the Tigray region of Ethiopia, the capital of Ethiopia, Eritrea and Djibouti. With them moving from here across these mountains, Meanwhile, landing up here in this area of Somalia, to bring back Oman's colonies over here, quickly seizing it, with Ethiopia surrendering, because what were they going to do? Absolutely nothing. But at this point, as Oman is taking control of the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, they thus move to Iran. They mass 750,000 troops on Iraq's borders to seize Baghdad and get to Iran's border in a pincer attack. As they raise 250,000 naval-ready troops. On top of that, Iran is falling down soon. Iran's death is inevitable. So, let's see the people of East Africa and Ethiopia as a puppet state, while a colony here has been set up. So let's go to Iraq. Well, this is a big campaign with two main fronts, to the capital and the south. They march into the south. Not north, into the south. They don't manage to break through too easily, but they get through, quickly securing the south. Meanwhile, at the same time, keeping Iraq's troops unable to function, they also launched a quick attack into Baghdad. Using this, they thus moved to here, which they moved to the Euphrates River. They moved north very fast as the psychological effects of a quick advance leaves the command paralyzed, and the command structure fails to repel. Thus, they won this war. But before anything else happens, a big alliance is formed, the Islam Defense Pact. The Islam, they have Libya, Algeria, Morocco, Egypt, Sudan, Turkey, and Albania. For whatever reason, the Albanians want to be part of this. But what they don't have is, well, Iran. But why is this important? Well, Iran is a big attack on three main areas, with the main front in the north opening, with two of these, one into the Arab region, resource-rich area, another towards, well, Tehran, and another from the south here, with them acting on their main two fronts, the Iraq front from Iraq, and from northern Iraq, a push towards the Caspian Sea, which then leads to a push towards Tehran, as they also thus land in the south, with a push towards the capital and across the coast, thus using a full-on blitzkrieg kind of strategy. But with the rest of the alliance being like, no, you can't do this, oh man, we will stop you. Yeah, sure you will, sure you will, sure you will, sure you will. As you can see, there's many fronts now formed. And well, Italy and Greece are like, you know what? We're in. And Tunisia's like, we're also in. We're taking down this colonialist, evil nation who did evil things a long time ago. With East Africa, that front manages to hold, just the Ethiopian puppet state manages to. The Ethiopian puppet state and colony, they both managed to secure this area, preventing Sudan from infiltrating, with Egypt being already dealt with. But with this, Turkey moves into the north as fast as they can, but not getting too far. With Iran's structure getting a break. Yes, they get a break, their command structure, and manages to launch a counter-offensive in two fronts. But what they didn't expect was, well, a blitzkrieg kind of strategy as they invade the Levant and Cyprus. Thus, they did this only to march other areas. Turkey stalls out, Iran stalls out. But with them launching a full-on blitzkrieg kind of thing into Jordan, or lightning warfare kind of thing to do this fast as they can, They quickly take Jordan's capital, and Israel quickly taking over most of Syria, thus paralyzing Syria's command and kicking Turkey out of Iraq. And then moving into the major front as they quickly take the Suez Canal, securing the canal, blocking the Egyptians from having control of it, mocking them for a bit, and then marching on to take the Nile Basin, thus moving into the city of Alexandria and into Cairo as they start moving down the Nile. But where the Nile splits, they quickly manage to get there as they manage to capture Khartoum, moving down. Forces also managed to capture Al-Fasar, which isn't really on the Nile, but this area. Thus capturing this, and they capture Port Sudan. As they move up the Nile River, assume this is the shape of the Nile River. It might not be, it might be straighter, it might be rounder, it might be anything, who knows. Well, actually, people do know, but I'm not looking at a map right now, besides this map. And well, they managed to push through into Libya, quickly moving in and paralyzing the country of Libya because they're completely destroyed and their military has no command structure left because it was destroyed. Well, although this is what the front technically looks like, more so what it looks like right now, to give a more accurate view, would be like this. No one's occupying these lands. Yes, no one's occupying them. As the main front against Tunisia, the Tunisia battle begins. Tunisia, we can say, is fully occupied. And then they move up and take Tunis, thus moving in. Thus moving along the gray zone as troops get further away into Algeria, this part. They start marching this way, then they march up north again. Thus confusing Algeria. Why are they marching into the desert? What's the point of this? So they prepare by bringing a lot of massive amounts of forces to the front to try to repel them out of Algeria's desert, thinking that's a very bad plan. Why are they doing this? They're easy to repel from that position. And bam! They move into the northern front with two fronts, one in the south to cut off any hopes of the troops reaching up here from there as they move up to the coast here. In this one, they blitz into the cities, quickly moving towards Algiers, completely paralyzing the forces locked here, making them surrender, and then taking Algiers after a battle fight over the lands. Thus, with the area where no troops are, becomes like this. With Algerian forces that are left after Algeria's surrender, they are forced to fight with, well, Morocco. And they quickly get pushed, they push towards Casablanca, and then they capture the capital, Rabat. I think Casablanca is there. And they take the last major city, thus a surrender, but realistically it looks like this. Yes, this is Dead Man's Land, basically. So let's see the peace treaty ramping back up after these big campaigns. Iran was relaxing for far too long. And while they added more groups, one group, they make it seem like they're invading Turkey by attacking Turkey with a too small group. As they attack Turkey, Iran starts moving forces into Turkey. Thus, they take the opportunity to slam into the Azeri majority lands, thus allowing them to slam out of this front, move down the coast while moving to the capital on multiple fronts, taking more of the coast. Thus, they move so fast, they paralyze the high command because they're moving so fast, they're basically behind the front line with a triple pincher attack with 3 spearheads headed towards Tehran. And while the forces in the south finally connect, seizing the ocean, these forces move up to the Caspian Sea to get north of Tehran. As the south of it, they start fighting and closing in as the siege of Tehran begins. Quickly, with no way of supplying these areas, they fall. And then Tehran falls, thus causing Iran to collapse. And well, Turkey, you excited? As they quickly move into Kurdish lands and up to the coast, into what should be Armenian lands, but the Ottomans didn't allow. As they move up from the south, quickly moving into Ankara, and from the coast they rapidly advance. Although they don't take over Crimea because they're not going into Russia. Or Ukraine, but realistically, it's Russia, even though it's Ukraine, because, well, Russia occupies it. Not truly Russian, but Russian nonetheless. They gave it away and were like, oh, we didn't mean that. And, well, their advance into Turkey quickly captures Islamabad. Not Islamabad, we're not in Pakistan ever, right? That's Istanbul! Can't even speak now. As they land in Albania. Why Albania? Well, this is to attack Greece. And now they own the Adriatic Sea. And they teach Italy. Now, Italy, you might need a bit of teaching. But this is how you invade Greece. This is how you invade Greece. I know you struggle with wars, but that's how you invade Greece. It's not that hard. You're worse than the average Hoi 4 player. Italy. And well, Greece falls pretty quick. And everybody's laughing at Italy for some reason, even though Italy did nothing. And Italy's like, this can't be that bad. Yeah, they take this island, which is Sardinia. They seize Sicily. Then they take this area, which is the entrance to the Adriatic. What's that strait called? I know this is Bosphorus, but I forget the name of the strait. Should have looked it up, but who cares? As they quickly move into Naples, taking the city, thus moving into Rome, and to ensure they keep their, well, best lands for trading, they move into Genoa, and then they move into Venice. And thus with this, with their most rich lands, now let's see a peace treaty for across the region that secures Oman's more, we want 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 more kind of behavior, which you would expect from a colonial empire, basically. Okay. This looks kind of nice with all the cities. So let's get to the proper layer. With Portugal and Spain are about to get hit in the face with basically a door slam, with them unexpectedly being invaded, and technically the British for a bit, but we don't need to mention that Gibraltar issue stuff. As they land in and quickly seize Barcelona, thus moving into Portugal, seizing Porto and Lisbon, thus quickly seizing Madrid. And while they move in and take these islands, who doesn't like islands? Islands. Islands are great, especially for a colonial empire exploiting the world. Good job, Oman. Good job. Just great job making the worst borders in the history of mapping. Yay. Although, I'm not talking about your Spanish borders. No, I'm talking about your soon-to-be borders. Not yet borders, but soon-to-be. And well, you can have a new puppet ×2. That didn't work. That doesn't work like that. So don't do that. Like that. As this new empire has risen, and is now a world conqueror. And while the Spanish campaign is thus ended, and you can see they created something, but let's go to Malacca. You may be saying, why? Also, don't worry about this part, but an ultimatum sent. You might be wondering what lands are in it. Down here, you can see where this is going. And they also demand here Meanwhile, they don't demand any of the other straits, they just demand military presence in all of them, which is accepted, and the land goal is also accepted by both Malaysia and Indonesia. You might be wondering, why didn't they go for all the straits or all the land? Well, they didn't want to start a war. And they want to control, through here they can control China, through here they can control China and Europe and America and everyone, thus dominating. And thus securing the Aegean Sea, Black and Mediterranean and Adriatic seas are secured. Meanwhile, also securing the Gulf and the Red Sea. They attack Indonesia and Malaysia. That's what happened. They attacked them. Yeah. And then send an ultimatum. Just asking for control of world trade. They threaten China and the US. They secure a navy that rules the waves, army that rules the land, air force rules the seas. And with their colonial overlords oppressing Africa and Europe. Also, please subscribe if you enjoyed today's video. Slam the notification bell to see future updates like Bulgaria forming an empire on Wednesday. How? Also, how does Greece form an empire? I don't know. Let's see on Friday. And well, please comment your thoughts and theories, even if you have nothing. Just comment whatever is on your mind, even if it's an emoji. And well, just give me engagement. That's a simple question. Well, Wild Mapper out, but not until you click a video above.